Hello YouTube, in this video we're going to be talking about straps. For those who don't know what they are, straps are lifting contraption that you put around your wrist and that you tighten around the barbell so that you don't have to worry about your grip. So essentially what they do is that they keep the bar in place so the bar doesn't roll out of your hand, it's much easier to grab. In a sense, you will be able to grip whatever weight you can pull. So there's no limitation. What's going to be the limitation is going to be your back. And that's where straps are interesting. You see, when you do a pull from the floor, what's going to limit you if you go double overhand is going to be your grip 100% of the time. You're always going to be able to pull more than you can grip, regardless of who you are. And I don't care what type of lifter you are, there are no lifter on earth that have stronger forearms than they have posterior chains. It's just not possible. So, the reason why you use straps is therefore to be able to focus the movement on the back and the legs. When you do a deadlift is not a grip exercise. It's not a forearm exercise. It's the posterior chain exercise. So having to focus on your grip is going to take away some weight from the pull. I love straps. I'm going to make a lot of videos on straps and I will be making very detailed videos on certain topics surrounding straps. So I will throw some ideas out there in the video that I might not develop, but I will eventually. So for straps, basically the idea behind them is that because they remove the need to focus on the grip, they will also not stimulate your forearms. It's true to an extent, but only to an extent, because you still get forearm growth from using straps. That's for another video. What you hear a lot is people say, well, straps are useless. But in the same breath, they'll tell you straps are cheating because you can pull more. So which is it? If they can help you pull more, they're not useless. So what you will hear then is people tell you, oh, it's ego-driven. Again, if you pull from the floor with good form, where's the ego in that? Straps just allow you to actually do the exercise for what it's supposed to be doing. Now, some people will say, well, straps, the only people who shouldn't use straps is powerlifters, right? I would disagree with that because unless you do mixed grip, and even if you do mixed grip, you can benefit from straps. But if you're not a powerlifter, straight across the line, you should be using straps. There is no reason to do hook grip. There is no reason to do mixed grip, especially mixed grip. It's terrible. Now, that's also a topic for another video. You will hear that you can lift more with straps. I've heard that. And if it was true, it would be a good thing. It's not. There are many people who pull more with mixed grip. I pull more on the deadlift with a mixed grip. This is just the way I'm built. The double overhand is slightly different with the form. I will make a video explaining why. But basically for me, I use straps to grow my forearms, and that's sort of an oxymoron or a conundrum for some people. They don't get it. Why do I say that I use straps to grow my forearms? One, doing heavy deadlifts with a double overhand or a mixed grip will not grow your forearms, or at least not to the extent you think it will. There are multiple reasons for that: the angles of your arms, the fact that the crushing grip, is not what grows the forearms. What grows the forearm is the weight that is literally stretching, that is literally stretching the flexors of the forearms and the muscles of the forearms. Again, that's a topic for a different video. But if you only rely on heavy deadlifts from the floor to grow your forearms, you're going to be very disappointed. And there are a very easy way to verify that. Look at elite natural powerlifters who pull from the floor. Look at people who pull sumo from the floor. You can find some guys who pull 600 from the floor, sumo with a mixed grip. Look at their forearms. They have stick forearms. You know why? Because grip strength does not correlate with forearm size. And again, that's a topic for a different video. But if you think that picking up 500 or 600 from the floor is going to mean you're going to have massive forearms, you're going to be very disappointed. Why? Forearm size and hypertrophy comes from wrist flexion and elbow flexion. So yes, doing pulling motions, doing static holds will make you grow to an extent and only certain parts of the forearms. I have static holds in my training. What people don't get is that you would get more growth in your forearms if you did rack pulls above the knee, holding the bar for 5 seconds, than if you do the full range of motion. Because there is no difference in forearm activation whether you pull from the floor or whether you pull from above your knee. The only difference is going to be the weight you can move, and then what's going to directly impact the hypertrophy of your forearms is going to be the tension put on them. So pulling with a very, very high rack, 700 pounds, and holding that is going to be massively better for forearm growth than doing your 500 from the floor. So now that I upset all the powerlifters, let me tell you how you can work around it, because we basically stopped talking about straps for a second. If you really don't like straps, what you can be doing too is do most of your working sets with your regular grip, and if you want to do some volume work, do them with straps. This video is going to be a little bit confused. I'm sorry about that. There are so many things to talk about, and I basically want this video to be out there so that I can watch it again and pinpoint every single point that will become their own videos. So if you have comments about the video and you think I forgot something, or there's a point that you disagree with, please let me know in the comments. I'll make a video about it. But now there's also the topic of hook grip. Hook grip is the equivalent of straps. It's a biological strap. It's not a grip. So the only difference between you using a hook grip or using straps is going to be your ego. It's going to be being able to tell yourself, I did it without straps, which is great if that makes you feel better about yourself, but I don't care about that. Why would I do a grip that is uncomfortable, takes a long time to learn, is physiologically undoable for people like me? If you look at my hand, my palm is both wider and longer than all of my fingers. That's a topic for another video. This is going to be a fun one too, where I explain why some people cannot do hook grip. It's not possible. And also, as a bodybuilder, who cares, right? I do sometimes double overhand on exercise where I can, where it doesn't damage my performance. But for anything else, I'm going to throw in straps, and I think everyone should. It's just going to not only make your back much bigger, faster, because your back is much stronger than the forearms, so you can pull more, but it's also going to make your forearms bigger, as I said, because you're going to be able to distinguish between pulls, which you should never use to grow your forearms, because as I said, they're not effective, and actual forearm work, which is going to require a lot of wrist flexions, elbow flexions, so that you can actually tense the muscle and you can actually get the muscle to actually go through a range of motion. Doing this and then moving your arm up and down as it's stuck against your body, there's no range of motion here. It's a static stretch. It's good, but it's not enough. It's the reason why your forearms don't grow. You need to add wrist flexions and elbow flexions. You need to get the muscle to contract in different positions. So that's pretty much that for straps. If you're not a powerlifter that is going to compete soon, if you're a powerlifter and you don't compete, use straps. Who cares? There's no difference. When you do a mixed grip, what you're essentially doing is you're not allowing the bar to roll out of your hands, because the other hand is pushing the opposite direction. That's what those guys do. The only difference with these is that they're actually going to make sure you don't injure your bicep and you don't end up in that position. For people like me, it's different because I have scoliosis, so my back is naturally to the side. So when I do this, I don't know if you can see it, but both my arms are the same length. So I never had the issue of the bar turning, and I actually was, when I was still I cared about numbers, all of my deadlifts were done double overhand, were done mixed grip, and I loved it. The grip was amazing for me. I stopped because there's no reason for me to do that anymore. And because it was actually hurting my forearm work. Because what people don't understand too is that you tax your forearm in that position that is not going to wield any good hypertrophy gains, but it does fatigue the entirety of the forearm and you see your CNS. And your grip is directly related to your CNS fatigue. So you will then come back the next day and work your grip, and you're going to do all those flexions that require to grab onto the bar, which you won't be able to do. So the flexion of the muscle, the function of the flexion is still fresh, but the grip in itself is not. If you go and you go on an easy bar and you have to do reverse curls and you do what I do, where I do 10 sets of 10, that's 100 reps, and your grip is not fresh, you're never going to have a good workout like this, and you're never going to tax the forearms. So that's pretty much what I want to throw out there. If you disagree, it's fine. Please let me know in the comments. It's always great to have healthy discussions about fitness. It's personally my experience with forearm training, because I was pulling from the floor row with no straps for 2 years, and my deadlift got bigger, my pulls got bigger, and my forearms stagnated. And ever since I started doing actually flexions and direct forearm isolations, they blew up. So if you have never tried them, give straps a try. They're amazing. Use them on movements where your grip is going to be a limiting factor, or where your grip is going to be a parasite that's going to disallow you to work your upper back. And then use all of that grip strength that you haven't spent pulling from the floor doing forearm exercise, and I guarantee you're going to see a massive difference. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry about the confusion in the video. Usually it's much more detailed and properly and neatly presented, but I will come back to this eventually and make videos about all the topics I spoke about so briefly, which I apologize for. But thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, and have a good day.